don't know if you can see this, but this wheel bearing's going out. No bueno. What's going on, guys? About to go look at some wells for a client. Looks like there's oil there, but that's some mechanical issues, so they want me to take a look at it. Shit. I busted my ass. But yeah, stay tuned. Talked about it before, but always look professional. That way nobody shoots you. These landowners get a little suspicious. Random people they don't know are walking around on their property. Pick up a vest, hard hat. They'll at least ask who you are rather than just shooting you first. That is real advice, and you should take it. Got the separator here. Oh, this is old. Oh, this will need to be changed. The separator, until it's turned on, you won't really know. You can tell not running it. So these separators are finicky. They got a lot of stuff inside, so until you actually turn it on, get it up and going, it's hard to tell if it'll actually work. If you need to replace one, you can pick up one now used for about 1,500 bucks, so that ain't too bad. These tanks are good. They're all this wood here. It's always nasty if you put it kind of on a salt flat because it'll just rot out. They're pretty solid. Kind of give them a little gentle tap. Don't kick them hard because you can kick a hole if they're rotted, but just kind of see how strong they are. See, they're pretty solid. These valves are older. I think they'll be okay. Typically with these valves, if they start going, you'll see oil down here. This is going to need a firewall. It's basically like a berm that goes around the tanks. Not too big of a deal. Get a backhoe in here, tractor, and it can launch it up easy. The pipeline looks pretty clean. This is fairly new poly here. Walk in the line, make sure no leaks anywhere. It's pretty decent looking poly, so I don't think you will. If you've got to replace it, you're probably looking, depending on where you're at, anywhere from $1.25 a foot, $1.50 a foot. Typically the going rate. Have roustabouts come in and lay it down, so this looks pretty good as well. Very clean. Unfortunately, this pumping unit looks like it's seen its better days. Doesn't look like it's going to be running anytime soon, as you can see there. More than likely we'll need another one. If you look closely, you typically can see that it's sat for a while. Almost forgot to add the casing down here. Like, this is the casing, so your backside coming out of the casing here is underground, so we'll need to dig that kind of up so it can be accessed easily. Last thing you want is a leak or something down there and you can't get to it easy, so might as well have it dug out and easy access to. One thing to note, the state of Texas, you've got to start having the wire buried and in conduit when it comes out and goes to the motor. Same with the box. It's got to be in conduit. They're really starting to crack down on that, so it's something you're going to have to do sooner or later, so might as well just do it now. It's pretty straightforward. Go in the box here, unwire it, run the conduit down, bury it, and you're good. It is something you need to do because you will get fined if you don't. If you don't have one of these already, get one. Because when you have a pit like this, you can go in and check it and see what it is. It's only 400 or 500 parts per million. It's not bad. If it's in the thousands, then it's salty. But this will need to get filled in, obviously. This one's got a rod stuck in it. Again, here, I think this is coming from the pipeline, but we'll have to dig down to make sure that the casing isn't leaking. One of those wells that could make or break a deal. Going in it, trying to get that pump out that's stuck. Ideally, maybe 5 days and 10,000 bucks, but it could be 30 or 40,000. You never know. And that's kind of the risk you take in this area. Pull rig's about $125 an hour. So you figure 10 hours a day, 5 days, plus another 4,000 or 5,000 parts, etc. Hopefully you don't have to get wireline involved. If you get wireline involved, it can get even higher. This well alone, I believe, it's got 3 or 4 barrels a day being produced right now. If we can get this back, you figure, say 25 grand to get it back online. If it does 2 barrels a day, then that's a financial win, because you got 2 barrels for 12,500 a barrel. But if it goes crazy, then it starts to get ugly, and you never really know if you're going to get back what it was doing either. So it is very much a gamble on this well. Everything else looks pretty good though. Needs a horse head, obviously is down. You're gonna have to put everything back on it. And then this sand here, you can tell, and this is why I kind of like it, this is frac sand here. So they fracked this well and then had trouble with the pump. So in theory, there's a lot of oil in the ground on this well if we can get it back up and going. Just a side note, it is effing freezing right now out here. I just want to let you know. Gotta love this area, this part of Texas. It's always windy, and when it's cold, it is freezing effing cold. But let's get back to it. This electrical box, we'll need to get it looked at, obviously. That's the timer there. Then you got all that crap up there. Again, you will need to run conduit from under the box down under, and then bury the line. Whenever you see electric like that, I just stay away from it though. And this is probably gonna need a new motor. Could have been crackheads in here, who knows. Chemical treatment as well. Looks like a solvent. Runs up, goes into the tubing. This line, unfortunately, looks a little old, so we'll have to check that as well. Probably pressure it up. Get a truck out here, push through, make sure everything's going through all right. If not, you'd have to dig that up, lay down new poly tubing. If you've got to do that, as you can see, it's not close. Yeah, you'd have to trench that on top of the poly tubing, which can cost some money as well. So